everyone, this is Nimish and today we're going to review the movie Monsoon Mango starring the one and only Fahad Fasil and the famous Hindi actor Vijay Raj. I don't even know where to start. All I can say is that this movie, I'm sure it had mixed reviews. I'm sure it probably had 50% people who liked it, 50% who hated it. And I feel the same myself. I liked certain elements of it and I didn't like certain elements of it. And I think that this movie is basically a lost opportunity, or should I say a wasted opportunity, or something that just I don't know where it got lost in translation, so to speak. So let's try and understand in this review what kind of went wrong or what could have been better with Monsoon Mangoes from a director's perspective, a filmmaker's perspective, and an audience's perspective. Now, if you watch Monsoon Mangoes very carefully, you'll see some clear cut scenes where they're trying to add humor, where they're trying to make you laugh in a sort of toned down dark comedy sort of way. I wouldn't say dark comedy because the situations aren't dark, but in a toned down humor, realistic humor kind of a way, which is very Kosla Ka Gosla type, so to speak. You know, if you watch Kosla Ka Gosla and if you understood that movie or laughed in that movie, that's the best example I can give, being from a Bollywood background, that the movie is based on real situations which are supposed to make you laugh in many scenes. If you notice, unfortunately those scenes are so flat that you just feel like you're watching a bad movie. You feel like you're watching a movie which doesn't know what it's doing, and you feel like you're watching something which has completely amateurish, something badly acted or badly directed, or was it a bad editing, or was it bad script writing? It just leaves you confused as to what this movie is trying to achieve, because those scenes, those comedy scenes, so-called scenes which are supposed to be funny in any way or even bring a smile on your face, fall flat on their face. But on the other side, the scenes which are not trying to be funny, the scenes which are going as per the script, as per the story, taking the story of a man who wants to make a movie forward, taking the story of an actor who's retired and who just wants his glory back, he's not interested, he's just doing it, taking the characters and their stories forward. Those scenes are absolute gems. They are absolutely brilliant, and they make you understand that there's something this movie has. You know, this movie has the quality, this movie has the script, this movie has some great talent behind it, and it is offset by those funny sequences which are not funny, and it is offset by the kind of humor which you feel they've just like tried to do something which did not work. So it's a very mixed response for this movie, not only in Kerala but for myself. In my head I feel mixed. Like, I can't say if this movie was a good movie or a bad movie. I just feel that this movie could have been better if it didn't try to be a lot of things. Now, what did it try to be? It tried to have dark humor or subtle humor elements to it that should have been knocked off. If they wanted humor, if you notice the script, they could have gone over the top with it, made it completely slapstick and made it really in the face funny. That would have worked more. For example, there's a shot where they're shooting a movie and the kind of donkey or something, they get a donkey instead of a horse first of all, and the donkey keeps walking. You know, they can't stop the donkey, it keeps walking, and a bunch of things happen with that donkey. If they had converted that scene into out and over humor, complete humor, it would have been really funny. But instead, they took the approach of keeping the humor subtle, realistic, and I think you need extraordinary experience to try your hand at that kind of humor, because all you know about that kind of humor is that you watched it in English movies, you watched it in other movies, and you want to recreate it. So you use those styles, it doesn't apply to your situations. Very careful writing has to be, you know, ensured when it comes to subtle humor. So I feel that the situations which were comedic were actually comedic for an over the top slapstick kind of way, but were presented in a kind of a stoned down humor kind of way or dark humor kind of way, which is why it got messed up. Like, for example, if a man is walking and slipping on a banana peel and falling, that's the most basic joke of children or whatever. So he just slips and falls. That's supposed to be a slapstick comedy. You should present it in the funniest way possible. If you try to present a man slipping on a banana peel in a very toned down, subtle way, you're not going to laugh. You're going to wonder what happened. and you're going to wonder, are they trying to be funny, but I don't feel like laughing, so how am I supposed to react? So that's exactly what happened with this movie. The kind of scenes that they wrote for the humor were actually slapstick scenes, but they presented it in a subtle way. Now that I've confused you guys enough, overall, I'm just going to wrap this up by saying that the performances were great. It had its heart in its right place. It just took a wrong direction. It should have taken the other direction, a simpler direction, instead of overcomplicating itself. And that's where I feel Monsoon Mangoes kind of missed its mark. And that's why some people might still love it, some people hate it. And that's how I feel. I love it and hate it both, but definitely can't ignore it. It's a must watch, and you must watch it if you haven't already after my review, so you understand more. And if you have watched it, whether you loved it or hated, try and observe some of it again if you have the time. It's on YouTube, it's with subtitles. Of course, you guys don't need subtitles, but definitely watch Monsoon Mangoes. It's a great attempt. It could have been a legendary movie, but sadly it wasn't. So I'm going with 2.5 stars for Monsoon Mangoes. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and keep watching.